Welcome to Phuket News TV. We've got a new book with us. It's called Slave to the Bean, and it's a great delight to speak to the author, Bill Barnett. Thanks for talking to us.
Hi, Tim. Yes, I've been out there bean slaving all year.
But this is really about your travels all through the year.
Sure, this was the year of disruptive things happening, so it's certainly, this year we've been working in 15 different countries across Asia, across the world as well, so it's certainly a highlight of that year.
Now, as part of C9 Hotel Works, you travel to mostly exotic locations around the world, reporting on what's happening in the hotel and the property industries. Tell us about some of the big hallmarks or milestones of the year.
I think this year we also pushed out into the Indian Ocean. We were in Africa as well, Ethiopia, the home of coffee, hence slave to the bean, Australia as well, and certainly some European trips. So it was an interesting year, a lot of travel.
So when you say slave to the bean, is it sort of focused on coffee and stuff?
I love coffee. I mean, it's absolutely one of my favorite things in the world. So certainly every day I'm out there 4 or 5, 6 lattes, espressos, whatever gets the job done.
You'd have to say about Phuket was the coffee industry here, the coffee scene, the cafe scene's really developed over the last couple of years.
Booming. It's certainly one of my favorite places, aside from having my coffee at Bake as well, certainly is the Coffee Lab up in Bang Tao. They do a great job of roasting. It's a great artisan house and certainly well worth going to.
I'll put you on the spot, a bit off topic, but what's the best coffee in Phuket?
Again, many places. For me, Coffee Lab certainly in Bang Tao would be my favorite.
Okay.
Artisan coffee.
Okay. Now, what are we going to find in Slave to the Bean? What are we going to read about?
There's been a lot of things. Certainly, people enjoy reading about my airline flights, sitting in 14D and waiting to recline. I think one of the most humorous things this year was the introduction of the knee defender, which was a device you could actually put in your airline seat in front so the person in front couldn't recline. It's now forbidden on many FAA flights as well.
What is it?
It's a device which you can input next to the tray so the person in front of you can't recline. But again, airlines are starting to actually not allow those as well. But again, there's always an issue. First thing to sit down between backpacks and people in front of you reclining. These are two of the most biggest hazards. Forget sharks, forget earthquakes, forget other elements. Certainly, reclining seats and backpacks are the most dangerous things in travel.
With the airline travel, and you do a lot of it, what about the idea of not letting seats recline at all?
I'm a big fan of that.
Democracy.
Absolutely. Everybody suffers. That's the main thing. We're all in this together, but we're all going down.
Now, you're not a small gentleman. How do you go about sitting in 16D rather than 1E or something?
I think it comes down to strategy. Certainly, I have an AirAsia strategy, which I'm not going to divulge on screen, but certainly in terms of picking the right seats and, again, it's being a knowledgeable travel, researching and finding the best seat placements as well. And when you're a frequent flyer as well, Thai Miles, in terms of Thai Airways, I'm a frequent flyer with Thai, so I'm able to get good seat selections.
Ooh, all right. This is Slave to the Bean. It's a good rollicking read anytime. Where can we get hold of it, Bill?
It's available online on Issue. So again, you can download it, you can read it. It's there for everybody.
And the printed copy?
Printed copy, they can contact me. Again, I'm online, c9hotelworks.com, and I'll send them a copy, no problem.
It's free?
It's free.
My goodness, this is...
things in life are free.
Yeah, well, this is good marketing for C9 Hotel Works. Slave to the Bean on Phuket News TV.
Somehow, the older I get, the more comfort I find in the comfort of the bean. We then come to the truly tricky part, that cultural exchange. Yes, coffee drinking does have a clear rules of engagements. Let's not get biblical, or we can flout the fine lines of the democratic process. But when you jump on the coffee train, you'd better be willing to punch that ticket and enjoy the ride.
This is the Phuket News. This is Novosti Phuketa. This is Puji Dao Xinwen, the new Chinese language newspaper for Phuket. Available at 600 locations around Phuket. Your island, your newspapers.